Evolution. That's an interesting word.
What do we mean by that word? It's best to start with the definition so that we know we are all talking about the same thing. According to several popular biology textbooks, evolution is any change in allele frequencies in a population over time. Let's break this down into understandable terms. Let's start with population. It is important to note that individual organisms do not evolve. Rather, evolution takes place at the population level, or in a group of interbreeding individuals. Next, let's talk about allele frequencies. Genes are recipes in your DNA that tell the body how to make proteins that will determine what you look like and how you function. Examples of genes include the gene for making hemoglobin, or the gene for cortisol, the stress hormone, or one of the many genes that determine your eye color. Each of these genes can come in several different varieties, like blue, green, or brown iris pigments, for example. We call these different versions of genes alleles. Within a population, remember, this is a group of interbreeding individuals, like, for example, the elk living in Yellowstone. There will be a variety of different alleles for any given gene. We refer to this as the allele frequency in the population. So let's now address change. What would cause the frequency of alleles in a population to change? Let's look at a classic example, the rock pocket mouse of the desert Southwest. The gene for this mouse's coat color comes in two varieties, sandy brown or black. Populations of rock pocket mice living on the sandy dunes in Arizona are predominantly sandy brown. However, populations living on black lava rock outcroppings in New Mexico have mostly black fur. How did this happen? Why do these populations have such different allele frequencies? Through a process we call natural selection, one of the many processes that can change allele frequencies, the majority sandy brown populations of mice that migrated to the lava flows in New Mexico stuck out like sore thumbs on the black lava rocks and were easily picked off by aerial predators. So, in a rather short length of time, the percentage of brown mice still alive decreased, and the percentage of black mice increased, thus changing allele frequencies. So, to recap, evolution is simply defined as any change in allele frequencies in a population over time. To understand more about the mechanisms besides natural selection that drive allele frequency change, see our video titled, How Does Evolution Work? Under the Share tool. There is one other part of the theory of evolution that naturally follows our discussion here, and that is that evolution predicts that all organisms on Earth originated from a common ancestor, and then differentiated due to the mechanisms we just discussed. So, when we talk about human evolution, we mean that humans arose from a common ancestor of all of life through the change in allele frequencies in populations over time.